Nope,
Remember's
the
pants
murmur
have
is
come back.
pantsless. Oh.
Amazingly, without you noticing, your pants come back. Now, you guys are heading down the path, and the path takes a downward angle, and then the trees start getting smaller and wirier and sparser, and the path underfoot starts becoming a sickly, sucking muck as a rising stench of decay and rot hit your nostrils. And overhead, it's like the 10 minutes before a storm. The clouds are black, and if you look closely, you can see faces in them. And the faces are slightly more distinct, and they're angry faces. And you are on a giant, wide marsh. There's a little bit of mist near the ground. There's no real source of light. You cannot see the sun anymore. You start hearing terrible, terrible things upon the wind. Now, I want you to answer this honestly. Do any of you have any outstanding promises that you've made in character? Do you owe any favors to any of your contacts? Have you said you would do something and simply haven't done it yet?
Nothing, nothing official for the net. I mean, I could dig. This is only my second mission, so I don't.
No, no, no. I mean, at all in your backstory. This is not
Yeah,
net official. I mean,
I took
anywhere in your
took the.
backstory.
I'm like a
My
fully
backstory.
initiated. I'm like a fully initiated member of the Seraphim, but they don't exist anymore. So I don't know if those vows, the oath I took is still valid. But yeah,
Well, okay.
My dad got killed in gunfire because of corruption, and I promised that I would find information on him. And apparently, Decker decided to make fun of my dad's death and make a nice, good video about it to some dance music. And he ended up dying to someone who looked similar like me. And I said I'd find that person and also find out why my dad died.
Liliana, a face in the mist near the ground that looks disturbingly like your father says, "Why haven't you found them yet? Why? Why have you abandoned me? Why did you break your promise, Liliana? Why?" And in your silence, you realize that the muck is sticking to your shoes more and more. And with a disheartening thunk, your feet come to a complete solid standstill. You cannot move your feet at all. And there's just the shade, and it's flying around you, and it looks like your dead father. Liliana, why? Why did you break your promise, Liliana? Why haven't you found them?
The only promise that Exile has made is to himself. Well, actually, he's made two promises in his backstory.
Now, Exile, as you're walking along, you see Liliana come to a complete halt, and the muck also starts sticking down your shoes. And it sticks, and you can't go any further. And you put your hands on your knees, bend over, and look into the low, scummy water that covers the path, and you see your own face looking back, and it asks you, "Why haven't you done it? You promised yourself. Are you even holding yourself accountable? Why? Why haven't..." What
And
is
he also
Exile's,
made a
what is Exile's promise to themselves?
His promise to himself was that he pay the guy back who gave him the mark that he has on his face.
Why haven't you paid them back? You could have hunted them down. You've had plenty of time. You've got skills now. I know you do. I am you. I am holding you accountable to yourself. What do you have to say?
Plenty. And he's going to point the shotgun at his own face in the water.
Alright?
Liliana's gonna look at her
What are
dad.
you going to do with the shotgun pointing at your own face in the water?
And he's going to say, because it took me this long to get this. And he's going to pull the trigger.
Cool, you shoot yourself in the face with a shotgun. Please soak. Yeah. I mean, well,
Oh,
I
Exile,
take 3 stun.
as you pull the trigger of the gun into the water, the flechettes bounce off the surface and ricochet back across your face, scratching it and ringing your bells, and you go, whoa. And you realize this somewhat sickeningly. You're stuck here. You can't fight yourself. Anything you do to hurt yourself hurts yourself. You must be accountable to yourself. Why have you not tracked down the person who's done these things to you?
Not for lack of trying, it's just that I haven't been able to get Private Ryan out of character.
Are you going to accept your failure? Are you going to
No.
just come to terms with your own broken promise? Are you going
It's
to?
not broken if I haven't. It's not broken if I haven't stopped.
Your rearmost boot comes with a sickening free of the glunk. As your promise is not broken because you haven't stopped trying, and you are permitted to walk forward again. So that's Liliana and Exile, who said they didn't have any outstanding promises.
yeah, Murmurs, no, doesn't really have any promises other than, I guess, basically is just to make it up to the runner that died on his first run to save him. That's
Yes.
why he keeps getting tattoos of teddy
You
bears
get
for some
stuck
reason.
in the muck.
Mm-hmm.
As a giant shaggy shape rises out of it, covered in swamp detritus and foul-smelling water. It's a bear. And the bear says to you, I have powers in this realm because of the princess. And I ask you, when are you going to make it up to me?
I'm trying. I try. Like, look, and Murmur will actually open up his shirt and show, like, he's got 4 different teddy bear tattoos tattooed on his chest, and then a few more on his arms. He's like, the spirits keep coming to me every time I ask them for favors. They get me to get another tattoo. I don't know what it means. I'm just trying to make it up, and this seems to be the only way that the spirits want me to do it.
The bear
Tell me
looks
how,
at you and
'cause
says, you're trying wrong. Emulate me, and you will be free of your obligations. Emulate me. Put yourself in front of others. Be a bear, not a rat. And the bear sinks down beneath the gloop as your feet come free.
okay.
Liliana, what are you going to say to your father as his shade circles you?
Father, I moved to Seattle. I contacted your old friend. I'm starting fresh here. There was nothing left in Japan.
The father's like, very well, but what have you done? What deeds can you tell me?
Nothing yet, Father. Please forgive me.
Daughter, you are sorry and asking of forgiveness. Of course, I forgive you. Even in this place there is love between a father and his daughter. And your feet come free as he lays his hand upon your shoulder, and you can walk again in the muck.
As my dad disappears,
Yep.
I say, I miss you, Father.
The last thing your father shade says to you is, "Remember this."
I
And you're
will,
free to
Dad.
walk through the swamp again. The swamp is long, it is salty, it smells. But as each of you have come to terms with your broken promise, you are able to cross it. Your feet do not seem to sink as deeply into the muck. And overhead the clouds grow angrier and angrier. It's almost as if there is a wrath building.
Exile's going to change mags, pull out a drum of XX, and put it in the shotgun.
You start heading across the swamp. It's a long trek and your legs burn. You've crossed the forest where the path is only for good people. You've crossed the swamp where your promises are held accountable. And you look forward at the giant, imposing stone cliff in front of you that appeared out of the fog. It's jagged and sharp, and there is but one narrow trail up a cliff in it, and it is the ravine. You don't know what this will test you, but you have a feeling that as you have gone deeper into this weird realm, everything has become darker and more dangerous. And yet, there is still distance to go.
Exile's going to take a moment to slap a bandage on his scratches. It's
The
enough.
band-aid slaps on, and then falls off immediately. Your wound's magically healed.
Buy one box.
No, by all the boxes you took. Magical band-aids, man.
Nice. Nice.
There is just this path up the ravine in front of you.
Well, this has gotten interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'll volunteer to go first. I mean, Bear told me to put myself first, so I can. You guys want to follow behind me? I can.
You hear a voice in the back of your head. But you should be at the back so you can run away.
Yeah, Rat. I know, but maybe I can run forward. There's more than one way out of a trap.
Oh, Rat seems very pleased at this. There's more than one way out of a trap. Was a good line to say. Rat's gonna go. So you shall see more than one way out of a trap. I'll be looking for you. And then Rat shuts up.
Okay. Well, if you guys are cool with it, I'll take the lead and
Okay.
will start up the ravine, treading carefully, not going too fast, but trying to pick his way up as well as he can.
You start walking up this ravine. And as you walk up, you look back across the swamp. And with weird telescopic vision, the realm distorts so you can clearly see what you could not before, all the way back to the forest's edge. And you see those nightmares and shades slapping their belts, start wading into the marsh. They're chasing you. Now,
Okay.
you guys are heading up the ravine. It closes in, it gets very tall and very narrow. And you hear a slight plink of a pebble above you.